Perez Martin Sandoval returns after a last-minute opponent change. Sandoval is currently on a run that has seen his opponents tap out 3 times in his last 4 bouts. Tonight, he will call on those skills to stop a surging prospect. Lemore's Alex Perez returns to the cage for the first time since his February victory over Anthony Figueroa. At 12-2, the decision looks to punch his ticket to a big show with a convincing victory here tonight. Coming up next, our co-main event of the evening, as Martin Sandoval takes on Alex Perez. Martin Sandoval makes the walk, fighting out of the Last Stand fight team. He's actually been down in Mexico, but came back for this fight to get ready. He was originally scheduled to face Ulysses Gomez, but he draws the name of Alex Perez. Sandoval said that his dream in mixed martial arts is to compete in Asia, either at Road FC or One FC at some point, but tonight he has a very tough task in front of him. The TPF flyweight champion, however, it is a non-title affair.
Yeah, and Martin Sandoval's been around for quite a while. You know, I know he's been down in Mexico, but he's trained with Michael McDonald and his brothers up in Modesto. Always an exciting fighter. You know, he's only 5'3" tall, but I mean, this guy fights like a savage. He comes after it. He'll throw flying knees. He'll throw spinning back fists. He's got a good ground game, a decent wrestling game. You know, real well-rounded fighter. Definitely brings it every time he's here. And hey, if you're talking, he's scheduled to fight Ulysses Gomez. Now he's fighting the champ. Title fight or not, you beat the champ. That says something. So that's what he's here to do. Absolutely, it would be one of the biggest wins in Martin Sandoval's career. You know, we'll see how much it changes. I mean, Ulysses Gomez, he's a grappler, a very good jiu-jitsu fighter. Alex Perez, well, he might not have the actual jiu-jitsu chops like Ulysses does, but is the same sort of fighter, a grinder, a grappler. So while he changes opponents, the style doesn't change too much. One is just a little bit more top positional heavy, a little more pressure put on him than if he were fighting Ulysses Gomez tonight. Yeah, I mean, if you talk about a guy like Perez, we've seen the evolution of his striking. It's gotten better and better, but you saw in his last fight when he fought Anthony Figueroa, who's primarily a good boxer, striker, he can always go back to that bread and butter and wrestle. With a guy like Sandoval, though, he's dangerous. If you take him down, he can submit you. If you strike with him, he's going to come and he's going to bang with you. So there's nowhere really you're going to be where you can't get caught with this guy. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. Title not on the line, but big implications in this one. Martin Sandoval looks to make good on this fight. Alex Perez is an accomplished collegiate wrestler. He lives in Lemoore. He fights in front of his hometown tonight. You know, he is the epitome of what Tachi Palace Fights is all about. When he first started fighting here in Lemoore, he did so he could pay for textbooks. He fought out in the parking lot. They moved the fights inside, and really he has progressed very well. 9-fight win streak, like you mentioned, Cody. He is the current TPF flyweight champion, and he's done all of this at just 23 years old. He's still very young in the sport. He has a wealth of experience and a lot of success to back it up. Yeah, and and I think the big thing about him is fighting named opponents. He did so his last fight out. Anthony Figueroa is no joke, and he was able to use his wrestling skills and win that fight. Tonight, he's got Martin Sandoval. Martin's got a good record. He's a name opponent. So this is what Alex needs, and I think that might be one of the reasons he took it on a few weeks' notice, because he knows, hey, I might be on a 9-fight win streak, but I need to get some names under my belt. I need to notch a couple of names in my belt, and that's what he's here to do. And so, I commend him. He's the champ, even though it's non-title. He's got a tough opponent in front of him, but yeah, you've seen the progression. I mean, I've seen Alex fight since his first, second, third fight, and you've seen him progress over that time into a striker. He can still go back to his wrestling. He's really improved over the years. So let's look at the tail of the tape for our co-main event of the evening. Alex Perez stands 3 inches higher than Martin Sandoval, 5'6" for the decision, 5'3" for Tarzan. A catchweight affair tonight due that Alex Perez took this fight on short notice, 127.2 for the champ, 125.8 for Sandoval. Sandoval 6 years the elder of Perez, 29-23, and there are the records, 12-2 for the champ and 9-4 for Sandoval. Let's throw it up for Tyson Johnson to get our particulars to our co-main events.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Tachi Palace Fights co-main event is 3 5-minute rounds in the flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at 125 pounds. He represents the Last Stand fight team with a mixed martial arts record of 9 wins and 4 defeats. He hails from Merced, California. Please welcome Martin Tarzan Sandoval. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 125 pounds. He represents Teams Ochoa and Team Oyama with a mixed martial arts record of 12 wins and only 2 defeats. He hails from Lemoore, California. Please welcome Alex The Decision Perez. Your referee for this bout will be Mark Lawley.
Mark Lawley getting the co-main event assignment, a catchweight fight between flyweight champion Alex Perez and Martin Sandoval. TJ DeSantis, Cody Gibson, cage side here in the Bingo Hall, Tachi Palace Hotel and Casino. Touch of gloves, we're underway.
And you could hear the crowd when they said Alex Perez, man. He's got a good hometown advantage here for sure. A lot of people here to see him fight. Inside leg kick from Sandoval.
You win a TPF belt, more often than not, you get a UFC contract. When asked about if Alex Perez, Martin Sandoval turning it up right here, but Perez does what he does best, gets a takedown. When asked why he wasn't in the UFC, Alex Perez said he didn't know. His manager likes to remind everybody he's 23 years old. Let's not push him too early. Just because you win the belt doesn't mean you don't defend it here in Lemoore. And Alex Perez not defending it tonight, but still proving that he has a lot left in front of him at just 23.
Good job from Sandoval to get himself back in the full guard here. He came out with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. So, definitely a skilled ground fighter. I've seen him hit some submissions before. Perez is no joke on the ground as well, especially in the wrestling department, which we saw. If there's one major advantage, it's definitely going to be Perez's wrestling, his ability to get on top. We saw that against Figueroa, his last fight. And Figueroa said before the fight, he's not going to take me down, and he spent most of that fight on his back. He's sitting inside the guard here, content with just peppering the body. So far is Perez. Sandoval's got that locked guard. Now he's got a foot on the hip.
Perez needs to stay tight inside here, not leave anything out for Sandoval to grab a hold of.
Sandoval's throwing some nice little short elbows, too. Here's framing up an armbar. Perez answers with a couple of his own elbows. This is where Perez wants to get him, he's going underneath. That could be a problem if you can't get that hand out of there. This is where Perez needs to put him, is put that head up against the cage and really smash him in there. That's going to limit a lot of his submissions. I don't know if he's attempting to do that or Sandoval's doing a good job of swiveling his hips off. Now it looks like Perez is trying to pass. He's got to get past that leg, though. He goes back down to his knees in the guard. He's hammering, though, with some short shots.
Sandoval content to play this game. We haven't seen him try to really wall walk or anything, get out of there.
And, he's throwing a lot of strikes from the bottom. Not that they don't hurt or anything like that, but, I tell fighters a lot, you're just wasting a lot of your time. Not too often. It's hard to win a fight off your back. Throwing strikes, it's just a hard thing to do. But he's doing it right now. He's keeping, every time Perez postures up to try to pass, Sandoval is using that knee shield and keeping him there in the guard. Now we're going to butterfly.
Perez doing work here early over the midway point here of round number 1.
And this is, we've seen Alex Perez fights where the whole fight was stand-up. But this is really where I feel like his bread and butter is going back to that wrestling base, and that's what we're seeing from him here. This is another day in the office for Alex Perez, and Sandoval's going to have to make it, change the game plan or change, have something different happen if this fight continues, because Alex could do this for 3 rounds and, not even be breathing hard. So
Perez, a standout collegiate wrestler, fought, as I mentioned, to just get money for textbooks, and finally started taking this thing serious. Had some serious strikes there.
Nice elbow over the top from Perez.
Got serious about the sport, moved down to Team Oyama in Orange County. Got to work with guys like Ian McCall. Worked with Carlos Esparza, got a broken nose for it, actually required surgery, but he's really taken mixed martial arts serious, trying to move to the next level.
Yeah, he's doing all the right things, from when he first started, and, he's got, his kind of hometown trainers that are still in his corner now, but, he's getting some good sparring in and good teaching and the technique in down at Team Oyama as well. We've seen the transition in his game. It's like Sandoval was trying to frame up something there. There he goes.
He's going for the armbar.
Good job by Perez. He's recognizing it and popping that arm right out.
That's something, too. Perez needs to keep this pressure on, but he also needs to be cognizant of the hips of Sandoval. He felt that they were moving and immediately pulled out.
Yeah, good submission defense there. Now he's passing over. This is what I was hoping, offensively, this is what he should have done earlier probably, is get out of that guard. He takes side control now. It looks like Sandoval was fishing for a Kimura, and Perez is going to stay in half guard here. That shoulder lock. Nice little short body punch. Back to guard we go.
Plenty of pressure here from Alex Perez early.
I just pepper into the body, waiting for Sandoval to open up. A lot of times you can wait for the bottom man to open up, and that's when you're going to look for your pass. You don't have to force a pass, and that's kind of where Perez has been this round.
Sandoval trying to box the ears of Perez there a moment ago. Very active with these strikes.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't think there was a single judge who gave him that round, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. A little sign of respect there, but a solid first 5 minutes of work there by Alex Perez.
Yeah, I mean that's a great round for Alex Perez. He did what he came to do. He's winning. He's controlling the fight. If I'm in Sandoval's corner, man, you got to switch it up, man. You got to not rush in and get taken down, because I believe he was being real aggressive and he gave him the takedown. If you got to play that outside game, he's a short fighter, so he's got to get on the inside. But what I mean is, not that charge forward,
Right.
Whether you're bobbing and weaving in the pocket to throw some bombs or whatever the case. Here we'll see the takedown. Here comes Sandoval. Here he comes, throws a body kick, swings in with a left hook. There's the takedown. And he never got back up to his feet.
That's the only one that he needed. I got to assume that if you're Martin Sandoval coming into the second round, you got to make sure that if you get taken down, maybe you don't play jiu-jitsu as long as they did in that first round. Maybe try to get up. Maybe there needs to be more impetus to get back up, because if he drops this round, it's going to be very hard for him to get back in this fight.
And you're seeing through the evolution of MMA, too, you're seeing guys that aren't necessarily, they might be good jiu-jitsu guys, but they know unless they get that submission, it's going to be hard to win fights off their back. So they spend so much of their time just working on, as soon as they get taken down, their hips are up so quickly. You see that with Jose Aldo all the time. Not really a wrestler per se, but it's so hard to take down, and even if you get into his butt, he pops right back up so quickly. And I would definitely be saying that to Sandoval. Don't overcommit on your punches.
Uppercut and a left hook there by Perez.
And if you get taken down, there he comes, overcommitting. Oh, he landed
left hook there by Sandoval. Nice head kick there.
Another left hook. Oh,
beautiful knee. Perez looking for a takedown. Sandoval staving off for now. A lot of action here. Kickoff round number 2.
Another hook. There comes a shot. He's got to defend this, and he does not. I think the problem with that defense is he went for the guillotine. Instead of saying, I'm going to defend this takedown, he was like, oh, okay, I'm going to shoot this guillotine. He's still
wise to trying to scoot out here. Not in the full guard by any means of Sandoval. Not trying to switch the side, but Sandoval
back to guard.
Reguards. Nice stuff there.
Got an overhook. Sandoval at least has an overhook this time. Hey, he was tagging Perez up there for a minute. Perez got wise and took another shot. But again, like we were talking about earlier, if I'm Sandoval, let's get back to our feet, especially now that you've had some success there. Let's not play this jiu-jitsu game. Now we're in half guard. And Perez is going to do this all night. He can do this all night. He's going to grind you and grind you and grind on you. Short, peppering punches. That's kind of his MO in a lot of ways in a lot of his fights.
His nickname is The Decision. He's earned a few in his time.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. It might not be the most
hunting for a head and arm choke here, Cody, but bails on it.
He's on the wrong side, too. You'd have to get that leg out and get to that side. He's done some good shots from top. He's doing enough from the top position to where the majority of referees aren't going to stand you up, especially now that he's out of the guard. He's in half guard. He's trying to throw elbows. He's trying to create separation, enough separation to do damage, but not so much separation it's going to give Sandoval an opportunity to regain his guard. So smart strategy from Perez. Again, if I'm Sandoval, forget the jiu-jitsu, but hey, man, you got to win this fight. You gotta try to get back to your feet.
He had success on his feet early here in the second round too. So
yeah, he really came out firing, but sometimes that aggression, costs you. And that's
Perez working like a key lock here from the half guard, but Sandoval able to.
Oh, nice elbow. Nice little short elbow from Perez.
While the submission might not be here right now for Perez, it is still something he's working for, and it shows the evolution of Alex. He was a guy that won his first few fights simply by just taking them down and not doing much there. Here we see a lot of strikes, and we also see him submission-minded as well.
Yeah, his defense has definitely gotten better over time. Ooh,
Nice elbow on the inside there by Perez.
He steps
Sandoval
nice little
answers one of
cartwheel
his
step over.
See Sandoval again heavy with the strikes from his back.
That's great, but you're not going to win any fights like that. It's just not going to happen.
2 minutes here, remaining round two.
He's got to focus on getting back to his feet. That's got to be his focus, especially because he was winning. He was winning the first minute of this second round from his feet. He was tagging him up. Throwing little shots from your back is great and everything, but not going to win any fights. The slap box the ears, I love it. I do, but just as far as the win-loss column goes, it's not going to win any fights. Use those feet on the hip to push away, to try to get up.
Sandoval with a nice little elbow there to the left side of Perez's
He's
face.
got the knee over now. Now use that to get up. To get up. That's what he needs to be doing. He's not doing it.
Trying to make space.
Perez trying to get past the guard. Sandoval's definitely gotten active off his back the latter part of this last minute or two, but again, hard to win a fight off your back if you don't finish the fight with a submission.
1 minute left in round number two. Alex Perez on top of Martin Sandoval. It is our co-main event of Tachi Palace Fights 24.
Passes over again, trying to get to half guard, ends up stuck in the guard still.
Sandoval's searching maybe for a triangle.
Yeah, he pulled a high guard there, but Perez knew what was coming, postured up a little bit, and back to the full guard. Little short elbows to the body from Perez.
Alex Perez is very methodical here. I mean, just doing what he does best, controlling the position, landing some strikes, mixing it up, flirting with some submissions, and, really just being very cognizant of anything that Sandoval's throwing his way. It seems like he's just a step ahead of Martin every time he tries something.
Yeah, definitely. Perez has definitely gotten better. His defensive jiu-jitsu especially. His ability to pass when he needs to pass. He's definitely gotten better in every realm of his game.
Sandoval really trying to make something happen with these strikes. Perez stands up. Round's done. 10 minutes in the books between Alex Perez and Martin Sandoval. Sandoval's just got to make sure he stays on the feet, try to get a knockout if he wants this win.
That's it. You've tried for 10 minutes to submit him, or at least to beat him up from your back. It hasn't worked out in your favor. You got to keep the fight standing, bottom line. And if you get taken down, you've got to get back up. Whether you got to give up a bad position and get back to your feet or not, oh well. You got to get back up. So, yeah, that's what I'm telling him if I'm in his corner right now. As for Perez, wash. What's the old saying? Wash and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Yes, sir.
Yeah, same thing, man. There's each little head kick there. Wasn't flush of the shin, but he still ate it. And a big knee right there as well.
Now, if you're Sandoval, Cody, how do you really manage being aggressive with your strikes, but make sure you're not getting taken down?
It's about your footwork. It's about not overcommitting with how you're moving your feet. It's keeping a solid base. You can move your head. You can go low. You can go high. You can throw bombs. But never to overcommit. It's the overcommitting that gets people in trouble. It's not the fact that you could be aggressive but still be cognizant of sprawl. What really got him down that round was shooting a guillotine off the takedown. Didn't work, and he spent the remainder of the round on his back.
No one saw it on camera here, but you're shadow boxing. That makes me nervous.
Always. I always get pumped, man. I'm getting jazzed.
Just don't hit me, all right?
No promises.
Round 3 underway.
We'll see what kind of game plan Sandoval's corner asked him to employ.
Nice kick there by Sandoval. Perez looks like he's ready to exchange here on the feet.
Well, I think he knows he doesn't want to shoot like we saw in our first fight tonight, just shoot from the outside. He wants to get in. He wants to wait until Sandoval's overcommitted. There's another head kick.
Sandoval might need to disengage here.
Like went low.
Again, Sandoval got a little bit of aggressive posture there, and when you do, Perez is going to be able to get a hold of you. And Sandoval's still defending this takedown, but ultimately, Alex Perez gets what he wants.
But he wasn't defending the takedown. He started fishing for more on that side, and again, went back to, I'm going to do some jiu-jitsu. Both times he's been taken down, the second and the third round now. And his back's up against the fence right now. Use that. Use it to your advantage. Get up. Something's not going. Plan A is not there. Let's go to Plan B. He goes under that leg. That's a dangerous thing to go into that leg. I know what he's doing in jiu-jitsu. It's not so dangerous, but when you're eating punches and elbows, it can be dangerous.
Martin Sandoval seems to think that submission is good as a knockout here, but hasn't worked for him for the majority of this fight.
Stuck in a half butterfly guard. The guys are getting sweaty, so if it's going to get even harder to submit somebody. Frames up another triangles. But Perez, he's got solid defense. He understands positions. He's definitely rolled with some high-level guys, and he knows what's up. So the sweatier they get, too, the more difficult it's going to get.
Credit to Alex Perez, too, for taking this fight on short notice. He seems to be very well acquainted with what Martin Sandoval wants to do to him. He's a step ahead every time.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good point. Here's the guy, he's a 9-5 win streak. He's the champion of Tachi Palace fights, flyweight division, which is, historically probably the best division at the Tachi Palace, and it's history since PFC even almost.
A lot of people wouldn't take this fight.
Yeah, because Martin Sandoval's no joke. He's been around before, and he's a tough dude. Perez says, I'm going to take it. He looks like he's still in good shape. He doesn't look like he's gassing out there or anything like this. So he's still training hard, and maybe he just felt like I need another one to get the call,
Less than 2.5 remain in this fight. Alex Perez on top of Martin Sandoval. See Perez sort of pushing Sandoval back towards that fence. And why not? I mean, Sandoval hasn't really used it to try to stand up. Perez looking to pass it into half.
Yeah, he's got a half. He's in half. Sandoval was looking to hit a Kimura there, but never got his arm over the arm. Never got in a really good position for it. And again, I mean, not that in a minute 48 seconds. I'm not saying that Sandoval couldn't pull out a submission, but the likelihood, in my opinion, I guess at this point it's you're either gonna knock him out or submit him, So why not just stay here? I guess, but
Perez secures half guard now. He hasn't had a very clean half, I don't think, throughout this fight. Now he has it. 90 seconds remain.
Back to a half butterfly. And Alex Perez can do this for 10 rounds. He can do this all day. And Sandoval's just kind of playing into it,
I think it's even more impressive when you think about the fact that a month ago this fight wasn't on the books. Alex Perez takes this on short notice and looks like he's had an 8-week camp.
Yeah, definitely looks in phenomenal shape. But again, this is a fight that, he wrestled for many years. He's very used to this, this in training as well. But yeah, credit to him for being in shape on a few weeks' notice, to come in here, fight a tough guy like Sandoval. And really, I'm not going to say it was an easy fight for him, but so far at least.
It's methodical for him.
Yeah, it's methodical, and he's dominated in a lot of ways in this fight.
Sandoval framing up a guillotine choke. The crowd not enjoying this one.
Yeah, what happened to all that support from when he walked in, man? Everybody was
so much for that hometown crowd.
He's nicknamed himself the Decision. If you're booing him, he's already telling you, don't be too impressed. I'm going to get a decision. And they're booing him. I don't get it.
A decision is a decision, and a win is a win. Alex Perez on his way to another victory. Martin Sandoval flirting with this guillotine, but nothing will be there as time expires. Alex Perez on his way to what should be a unanimous decision.
I think, too, it's tough because, you don't know what the UFC is necessarily looking for as far as, when they bring in a guy like Perez, though...
He's 23 years old, Cody. He's still growing. He's still maturing. He's got a lot of experience.
Honestly, that's a smart fight right there.
Sure.
Sandoval's a dangerous striker. Not that Perez can't hang with him on the feet, but guess what? Perez knew he'd have an advantage on the mat.
Let's not forget that Alex Perez had everything to lose in this fight. It's a non-title fight on short notice. He's the champion.
Yeah, no doubt.
Credit to Alex Perez for stepping up and taking this one, as well as Martin Sandoval for taking a short notice replacement. It's not often you draw the champion on short notice like that, and he was game. 15 minutes in the books here in Lemoore. Alex, the Decision Perez, should be en route to another decision victory. I believe we are ready for it. Now we'll take a look at the replay here. Cody, walk us through.
There's been Sandoval was having some success in the striking. It was the first round, I'm sorry. That was the first takedown of the fight. Yeah, and the thing is, anytime Alex Perez scored, he scored one takedown in every round, and that was it. That was the round. He shut him down with the defensive jiu-jitsu. He landed some ground and pound. You saw Sandoval having some success with strikes, but yeah, for the most part, Perez played it by the books in this one.
Judges are ready. Let's get the official announcement from Tyson Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for both of these gladiators. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 exciting rounds, the judges have reached a unanimous decision. For your winner, out of the red corner, Alex, the Decision Perez.
Alex Perez, living up to your nickname, The Decision. You get it done. Your wrestling was on point. You know, you had a lot to lose. You're the reigning TPF flyweight champion. You take this fight on short notice. Why did you take it to begin with?
I felt like I got nothing to lose. I train every day, all day. And why not? You got to take opportunity when it comes.
Your